All right, you're live.
Are we? Okay. Let's get the file over to the right spot. Alright, hello everyone. I am Wed, and I'm running Jack 1 100% today. Are we good to go on time? Yeah. Okay. Time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so the main point of this entire game, the way I like to see it is we got the 3 humbuses, or the 3 humbi, and you form those together throughout the entirety of the game to become the ultimate humbus bumbus. In other words, I'm going to be I'm going to be attempting to collect all of the main collectibles in this entire game, which are the cells, the orbs, and the scout flies. We're going to be trying to collect. Honestly, I can't think of numbers right now. 101 cells, 2,000 orbs, and 62 scout flies.
Is it 62?
Or is it 74?
It's 70. It's definitely in the 70s.
Okay, it's 74. All right. Don't judge me on this.
I'm a Jack 2 runner by trade, so
Yeah. He knows movement. I know nothing.
yeah, some of the more complex stats. I'm not your guy.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Geyser Rock, the area that we have to do as a tutorial section to learn how to move in the game. And a nice way for me to get used to moving around in the game again.
And then we get to watch cutscenes.
Yeah. We got plenty more of those coming up because this is 100%.
Compared to the challenges that lie ahead.
Then no problem.
We got the moves, eh, Jack?
We'd love to stay in chat, Big Green, but we're itching to get on with our adventures.
Fine. Adventure away then. And while you're out adventuring, why don't you make yourself useful? My darn dreams.
So I suppose I could talk about like some of the movement in this game. Movement in this game tends to be very fluid, and I would probably say both simplistic and complex at the same time. A lot of the movements, a bunch of sequences of punches, rolls, and roll jumps, as well as various other types of like combinations of the two. Wow, that was
Dang.
that was incredible. I never seen that one before.
Yeah.
All right.
You're good though.
Yeah. So we're coming up here on one of the first orb challenges that you'll see me do, which is punching a bunch of yaks to get them back into a pen.
This is one of my favorite side missions.
I like that there's like a little like white flash every time you hit them.
Yeah.
It really has a nice impact.
It's very anime.
Very anime. Nice bonk. So you can probably tell from me doing this, the yaks don't really like to move the direction that you want to hit them. They have, overall, a decent bit of the controls in this are semi-imprecise. I would say, like, obviously as you play the game more, you get a lot more refined. But yaks are really a good evidence to show how unrefined it can be. And once again, going back to movement, I said like before, a bunch of combinations of a few simple movements to try to solve how to get from point A to point B as fast as possible. The game dropped my jump there. I'm happy it didn't matter. That's a common trait of any game created by Naughty Dog.
Yeah, especially the Jack series are very susceptible to dropped inputs.
I mean, I would debate Crash equally as much.
Do you think so?
Yeah, any area in like most of the PS1 and PS2 era Naughty Dog games, if there's dropped frames, there are inputs to be missed alongside that. So what I collected earlier there is something that we call Blue Eco. There are 4 different types of Eco in this game. Blue is going to be the one that you'll see me grab the most and tends to be the most useful. It acts as a bit of an eco, or a bit of an orb magnet, but it also makes your movement a bit more slippery. You see some green eco that I've been picking up, which is related to health points. If I collect 50, that's an extra health I get to have. You'll see yellow eco a bit, which is like a ranged attack. I'll be able to shoot like yellow flame projectiles with that. And the last one's red eco, which you'll pretty much never see me use. It's pretty useless overall.
Use it in Citadel.
Yeah, it's made to power up your moves, but more often than not, it's put in areas that you don't need to fight enemies, and there's one key area in 100% that you'll actually see me genuinely use it. Alright, so we got some kind of tight movement coming up here. Nice 360
gotta love
camera.
that camera.
See if I can get the rocket off of this. Just for the heck of it. Nope. If I got an uppercut on the right frame there, you would have seen Jack just launch super high into the air. Not really useful in this moment, but just kind of a neat little thing. Coming up here is one of the few bosses in this game, which is the Dark Eco plant. I'll be trying to go for a quick bite skip right here. And that was
pretty swag.
Pretty swag, but pretty terrible. I did still get a bite skip, but that was not what I was aiming for. If I did that correctly, he would have been ready for me to hit immediately. Another dropped X input. So, real goal of this fight, kill the enemies so that the boss becomes vulnerable, attack him when he is. It's a pretty common trait to bosses, really in this entire genre. And that last orb was unnecessary. Need to count more.
Just a double check.
I'm bad at counting, to be honest. I'm a drummer, I can only count to 4. So a lot of like the routing in these kind of categories is focused around trying to delegate a bunch of tasks at once, usually in a way to be able to grab orbs and scout flies and cells efficiently, as you would probably expect. I was really thinking that would work. So some of like the main basis throughout like the routing for Forbidden Jungle in particular is based around getting to these mirrors optimally and making sure that I get to the tower at a decent time, as well as setting up for a minigame that you'll see me doing in a moment. Okay, that was really sketchy. So that's the type of movement that you'll see me do throughout the run that's a bit more unintended. They're called boosted uppercuts. So you'll see me walk off a ledge sometimes, and during the walk off, there's a bit of like a slide that happens. And if you get an uppercut off of that slide, you get a bunch of horizontal speed.
What do you have in the basket?
Nothing to talk about. Them monsters patrolling the ocean took a bite out of me fishing rig. And now they're
Gobbling up me catch!
No matter what I try, I can't seem to catch a single fish in this river.
Woo! Maybe it's your breath.
You think you can do better? Try scooping up river fish with a tiny net.
Probably one of the easiest characters to meme on in this game. He's got some very iconic lines.
Very quotable.
Yeah.
Use my speedboat to get
My
to Misty
speedboat.
Island. You want to try the challenge?
So a big reason for the route of this place in particular is to set up this humbus
20 pounds of good fish.
is to get better RNG during this fish segment.
Poisonous eels in this
It
river.
can allow to save quite a bit of time if you're able to
And you'll poison the whole
like
darn catch.
set it up properly, or
Isn't it like if you do mirrors before you do fish, then the fish are for some reason faster?
it's something along those lines.
And it just has to do with like, well, I guess people don't really know what it has to do with. It's just
Yeah.
happens.
And it's still only just a chance of it happening.
Hold steady.
Probably a decent weight in fish to come up at the end of this wave is probably somewhere around like 120. So, not great.
I'm gonna guess,
This isn't terrible, but
I'm gonna guess before eels 156.
143.
Wow, that was
That was a bad phase.
dang.
Not a very forgiving eel phase either.
I got a few golds.
There's something.
That wasn't bad,
That
actually.
was something.
169 out of
Yeah.
eels.
Hold steady.
Here comes the big one.
My favorite line is when he just shouts left at you.
Yeah.
Got 200
Got 200 pounds of fish.
Better a couple of landlubbers.
Yeah, did it.
Here's the power cell I promised. And you can use my
All right,
boat to village down.
we're gonna go for something kind of dumb here. Saves about 3 seconds if I can get it. Probably won't, but if I get it, it'll be pretty hype.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Ah, that's how they always look.
Yeah. That looked good.
Yeah, it's very close.
I love that strat. That's so cool.
So that was actually a weird thing with some collision in this game. There's some sections that clearly aren't floor that count as floor, and if you can uppercut into them, you'll get a bunch of height. So I was trying to utilize that. So right now we're doing a save and load to get closer to a boat to go to Misty Island. And coming up here, I'm going to be trying to get a fairly tight cycle. I'll be trying to get a cycle to line up the zeppelins that fly around in the zoomer area of this level. So I need probably movement that deviates by around like 1 second at the most. All right, that's my second.
Oh, no.
There's a chance I'll get a weird cycle. There's no big deal. That's close. This is still looking okay, I think. The only real way to tell is when I get to one specific lurker. This one coming up here at the ramp.
Oh,
Okay, I
nice.
got the cycle.
That was great.
At least I'm on it for now. There's still a chance. Alright, bit sloppy, but I got the cycle, so that's good. If you pause too quick after a cell cutscene, it doesn't let you actually regularly pause. Just a fun fact for you. So along with boosted uppercuts, there was another type of movement that I didn't really mention before, which is extended uppercuts. Every once in a while, you'll see me punch off of like a ledge. You'll see me dip down a bunch. I'll start an uppercut and I'll just slingshot right back up. And that's me trying to gain a little bit of extra height by doing something called an extended uppercut. I was mixing phrases in my head. I don't know why. Camera got stuck there. Not super common for me.
Isn't that the very pit of Black Eco that turned Daxter into an Oncel?
Yes. In fact, it is. We don't watch that though, so that's not part of the lore.
True.
Don't worry about it.
It's actually been retconned.
Yep. It's been retconned by us speedsters, as we call it these days.
Speedsters, yeah.
Yeah.
As a self-proclaimed speedster. I love grabbing that top one before it gets too high up in the air.
It's really nice when you set those up. I had to make sure to do some kind of wonky movement there because those big lurkers, they have a very interesting hitbox, and if you hit them, you just kind of bonk off them.
Oh, I noticed you did that on one earlier, and I'd never seen that before. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
Every time this happens and I see a runner get to this part and they damage boost through these logs, I always forget that people purposefully do that. And it gets me every time.
Nice.
That was
I was hoping I'd get that strat. Boosted ground pound into scout fly. Hopefully there'll be a couple more in the run for that. Or guess where that comes from would be what a phrase there. Eh, didn't need it boosted there anyway. That was pretty good Misty actually. Could mention some swimming movement.
Oh yeah.
So the regular swimming in this game is terribly slow. So what you do is you start up the swim animation over and over because that's the fastest part of the swim. And you do that at a specific rhythm and it allows you to go a lot faster than usual. And there's one other type of swimming movement that you'll be seeing me, well, quote unquote swimming, that you'll see me do a bit in Sentinel Beach coming up. Why, hello there, my dear boy.
You caught me at a most inopportune moment.
I love these
I was to
cutscenes.
set off on my journey yesterday.
We like to call this guy Uncle Julio.
Precursor orbs. I
He
would
likes to
bet
tell you
my
to run
word that I had
orbless.
90 of them. But I gather that your young
That's
friend,
true.
you know, the little annoying, miserable
Grind.
one,
Grind. You will get world record.
Anyway, would you be kind enough to loan
Shout outs to
your
my boy
90
Pickleberry.
Precursor orbs so he can get underway? I would offer you a power cell in return. I see you two are
Say,
back
Sicky.
to make
Yes.
the trade.
Is that a
Good,
baguette
jolly
in your
good.
sweater?
Hey, you have
You
the,
just happy to see me.
Precursor orbs that we
Oh,
agreed
that's a baguette in my sweater.
on. I hope you put
Oh.
this hard-earned power cell
Nice.
to good use. Cheerio, ta-ta, bye-bye.
Why do you have that in there?
This is a 2-hour run.
Gotta eat it?
Yeah, I got a carbo load.
After that, I might need to pull out my own.
Ah,
I thank
yes.
you.
Yeah.
And the entire village will thank me.
Cheers.
Boys,
I'm not gonna
you
eat
have
this.
restored power to the village.
I'm not
They
hungry yet.
guarantee
More for me?
my re-election. And for that, my boy, you earned a power cell.
That was actually starting to feel so warm on my arms.
Yeah,
not
no.
gonna lie.
I actually completely forgot it was there. I'm not
Really?
gonna lie. Yeah. It was just resting, like, it was very comfortable.
A sizable one, I hope.
So this is the NPC that we had to do all the blue eco mirrors for. Didn't really declare that because we never started talking to him, but that's a nice thing with the power cells in this. A lot of times you don't need to initiate conversation with an NPC if you don't have to.
I always find it very funny how all these people find themselves in these predicaments that can all like be solved by just giving them 90
90 precursor orbs.
precursor orbs.
Except the precursors themselves, who need 120 for some reason.
True, for some reason they just need more.
So welcome to Sentinel. We got some hot levels of RNG in here in some places. The lurkers up at the top of the tower have a random chance of shooting the bomb in some good direction, and they actually
Yeah,
shot
that
pretty
was-
nicely there.
I was lucky.
Speaking of the tower, we're just gonna go up. There we go.
Did we ever explain the infinite jump?
I kind of explained ceiling spots, but I more of said it in a rocket uppercut.
Oh, right, because rockets. Yeah.
Would you like to explain them?
Yeah, well, it's that concept of, yeah, like what Wed was saying, where there are some like floor, like tiles that shouldn't be considered floors, but they are for some reason. And if you can get below one of those, then for some reason it like every time you jump underneath it, it'll reset your jump and like refund it to you, so that you can just keep doing it over and over. And you can use those little spots to like get stuck on the ceiling and then kind of do some OOB.
Alright, good. I was scared that I missed that.
Oh, that boosted?
Yeah, the second one trips me up sometimes.
Yeah, that's scary.
One of the nice areas to really show that blue eco is very useful in 100%.
I wish it's how real people swam.
Do some roll jumps to fast swims IRL.
Also, I don't know why, but fun fact, in Jack 1, roll jumping actually deals damage to enemies, but in Jack 2 and 3, it doesn't, and in fact, it leaves you very vulnerable, and you can take damage off of enemies while roll jumping.
It's one of the other bits of RNG in this level. It doesn't matter as much in 100% because you're going around grabbing stuff, but in other categories, these birds can be pretty killer. You just lose a few seconds due to just the birds not landing. I've had it once where I just lost like 5 seconds to the birds because they just wouldn't land.
Yeah, that's always like the worst way to lose time in Sentinel.
It's just particularly rare in 100%. Great, so here's the other water movement that I was talking about. Try to get a few of these. So I believe the term that's usually gone with these is water jumps, when I can get more of them. They're, I don't know if they're exactly frame perfect, but they're very small windows. So, I'm not surprised I missed a bunch there. It tends to be quite a bit faster with, like, Blue Eco in particular. Because I believe Blue Eco boosts, like, your acceleration a little bit, along with making it a lot more slippery. So overall, it makes the water movement a lot quicker if you can get a bunch of them. But it tends to be variable on a few specific things. One of the main things being like water height, and water height is constantly changing and pretty random. So right now we're on the return trip for this level, just sweeping up to collect all the orbs that we end up setting ourselves up for. As well as to crack open a giant egg. Nice damage. I don't know if I really deserve that.
I disagree, game. Oh, you didn't get the...
Yeah, I didn't get the fall off.
You ruined it.
If I got the slide off, that would have been great.
That would have been fun.
I hope the poor deer's okay. Here's a power cell for your valor.
No!
Look,
You ever just give birth to a grown bird?
Sometimes.
you're its mama.
Ah, I'm not your mom. You see any feathers here?
Oh, love at first sight. Oh. Listen, boys. I'll take this little chick back to the village with me and work with the sage to take
I'm mulling over that phrase, and it's making me just kind of laugh internally at this point. I'm very low on sleep, guys. I'm past the phase where everything's funny. That's why we had baguettes in our sleeve.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that joke landed. That was pretty funny.
Who knows? Don't go out and tell me if it landed, please. Please don't. I won't. I'll just assume it did. Just don't let me know.
Yeah, just let us just like hope it did and be like.
Oh, my news!
You saved her.
Oh,
You really are the best.
Here, take this power cell. I won't need it now that I have my inspiration back.
Once again, another NPC that we helped before we even knew him. We just collected some creature. Nice wall. Wonder who built it.
Probably that guy
Probably.
who lives there.
I really wanted to go for it. I really wanted the lamp boosted.
The lamp boosted. That's pretty swag.
One of my sole contributions to this game. The lamp boosted.
Ah, well done, my boy. You actually got those flea bags back into the pen. Now I can sleep in peace. Take this power cell for your trouble.
Siki, are you able to make the Oracle voice?
Yeah, 1 second.
Wait, one of you has the light within. Who awakens the oracle? Wait, one of you has the light within.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
From a long time, I have watched and waited for the true hero to return. Present to me 120.
My voice is a little too scratchy right now for me to even try it.
For your gift.
Are you sure you don't want to try?
I am positive I don't want to try it right now.
You have proven yourself worthy.
So as I said before,
As a power cell.
a lot of cutscenes.
At least you don't have to worry about like orb routing. I feel like orb routing at 100% is a lot easier than orb routing in like no LTS or something.
Well, that's because it's not on the fly. That is cool. Nice roll jump. It's not too bad.
Like, yeah, that orb, the hitbox.
When you punch, your hitbox is massive.
I think when they're moving up and down, sometimes they do really odd things, and like they can randomly, you can miss them because of your animation. There we go.
Something weird about this game is that the area entry text, in particular, just overwrites any other text that's on the screen. So if I just grabbed all those orbs for Fire Canyon and just went up to Kira, I would have had to sit there for a few seconds waiting for the Fire Canyon text to disappear. So instead we just activate the text trigger earlier, grab the orbs, and then go back up, just to use a bit of that time up to do something productive.
So keep a lookout for jumps to keep you off the hot ground. I've also released several blue cooling balloons you can use to drop the shield's temperature quickly. Oh, and when you get across,
We've also
don't forget to activate
almost
the
finished the
teleport gate in
first
the
leg
blue
of
sage's
Humbus,
lab. Then we'll be able to teleport
to form
over
the
and meet
Humbus
you.
Bumbus.
Good luck.
The ritual is almost complete.
I don't know if I'd say almost. We're like 33%. I would say 30 right now.
We are approximately a third of the way through the ritual.
Sadly, the ritual has you play Jack 1 at 100%.
Step 1,
Humbus.
Humbus.
Step 2, Humbus.
Humbus. Step 3,
Humbus. Bumbus.
yes. So in this level, there's orb crates. You have to get every orb crate, right? And
Yeah.
every scoutfly crate? Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy. It's almost like I'm playing 100%.
It's almost like you're trying to get everything.
Alright, so coming up here, we actually have a new type of tech that I'll be doing a few times called pause buffer. Would you like to try to explain that, Siki?
Yeah. Pause buffering, you can do this thing where if you bring up the HUD at the same time as trying to pause the game, it'll bring up the HUD, and then as soon as the HUD goes away, it'll pause, and it sort of starts like a buffering into the pause. But while the game has the HUD, the heads-up display up, in that kind of like pause, waiting state, you can like basically have it like store cutscenes and have it like skip triggers.
So a lot of times you'll see it being used to get out of range of a cutscene trigger or die before a cutscene trigger can properly activate. It's just all based off the weird state that it puts you. It's almost like an extended pause menu
Yeah.
where you can control yourself.
Like, as long as the game is waiting to pause the game, it won't do anything else, including like cutscenes and like other key in-game mechanics.
Yeah, lightning bolt.
So you'll see it a few more times later in the run.
Maybe for 2 power
But
cells.
first, we got some zoom to do in a bit after some cutscenes.
Oh, are you doing Basin next?
Yep.
Okay.
Fair enough.
With some of the worst RNG in the entire run.
Oh, you have the orbs.
Have you always done Basin
Here's
first?
the power cell we agreed upon.
Yep. Hundo, as far as I know, it's always been Basin first.
Huh.
Just gotta go initiate a challenge over here.
Oh, no, not another hero. I lost my short on bits.
Then another swag strap.
Fight against the monster up there. Trust me, the smart money's on the monster. That wager pretty much tapped me out. So, I got a proposal. Bring me 90 orbs to get me back on my feet and out of this barrel, and I'll give you a power cell in return. And if you're game,
I like that inside the barrel there's just like this wooden flat spot that they tried to hide. So you can't really look in it.
I'll give you another power cell.
I understand why. You know, you can still see it. Had to go for the boosted uppercut.
It's essential.
Yep. Give my style points a little bit of a boost. So these moles are terrible. That's pretty much all
These are like
I need to say.
easily one of the worst parts of Hundo.
Ideally, I would have gotten 3 there. Having 2 left over isn't that bad, but we'll see how it goes. It could end up really good, or I could end up with a mole wasting a lot of my time. That was extremely sketchy.
Yeah, that was spooky. Don't do that.
Don't worry, I don't need to again. So, watch as I predict the future. These 2 moles are going to go opposite directions. I did not, yeah.
Okay.
I did predict
yeah.
the future.
Nice.
And I thought I was being proven wrong for a second, but no. Okay, so that was about average. I'm not fussed with that. Trying to make sure I grab these orbs here. I will be going back through this area, but it's a lot less to worry about. Next time I'll be going over that path, I'm going to be going a lot faster. Speaking of which, something I didn't mention about Blue Eco, but probably would have picked up on it, is Blue Eco, if you run into it while you're on a zoomer, it allows you to move a lot faster. Or if one at a time allows you to move a little bit faster, so
And you can
you'll
stack
see me-
it.
Yeah,
right?
you can stack it a bunch. So I'm going to be trying to collect, I believe it's 5 in total, usually along this.
Also, if you keep the X button pressed down while collecting it, it'll never take away the boost. Is that true?
Yeah, as long as I keep holding onto the X button and don't bonk into a wall, I'm fine. That's not good to miss.
Oh, the scout fly box.
That scout fly box is in fact very bad to miss. I don't know when I'm going to back that up. I would say there, but that I don't trust the amount of time that I'd have.
Yeah, in the middle of the ring challenge. I don't know.
Try to remind me that the scout fly box is there.
Yeah,
in case
on your
I
way
forget
out.
it. I'll probably just run over and do it after plants or something. You don't exactly head in that direction, but there's no other time. Or I guess actually a good time would be after the last purple lurker.
Nice. Just
Oh
one
my
cycle
god,
that.
the boy got one cycle!
That was pretty good.
It's not that bad. Yeah, that was pretty good. Great way to start off this
That's right.
Great way to start off the segment, actually. But gonna quickly ruin that by having to get the scout fly box. So we've actually low-key been setting up that lurker down there. Be trying to do a particular strat to try to get myself a bit closer to where that scout fly box is. Nice.
Good one.
Yeah, I think this was the best time to do this.
Yeah, that makes so much sense to me.
One thing you've probably noticed with the zoomer is that, or more of this area, is that some of the defined ledges that you see around here just aren't exactly true. So a lot of times you'll see me cut corners and go up some ledges that don't look like I should. That's really just a judgment call, just kind of learning how much you can get away with going up those. This is the wrong way. This will be fine, but that's not the right way. I don't know why I thought that was the right way. Coming up to the end of basin here. Just have a few, or just one more cell to get after this, which is these blue rings I've been chasing after. I should start doing the goofy thing where you hold both the buttons.
Hold both of what buttons?
Usually if you hold, like, it's some button combination, you just start getting the weird noise of the zoomer over and over.
I never heard about that.
It just makes like this really weird, like, kind of noise.
Oh, yeah, like that grunting noise.
Yeah. I actually kind of forgot how to do it somehow. Kind of tight eco vent cycle here. I missed it.
Yeah, that darn tree.
Really now? We're gonna play like this? There.
Nice one.
Beware of the dark light, for it has
So
twisted.
fun fact, doing the Oracle right now is actually like one of the newest strats in 100%. Shoutouts to Mike GamePro for all of his ingenious ideas throughout routing categories in this game, such as doing these orbs in a much more intended order instead of the way we did it before, which has you do a boosted uppercut and some fast swimming. Apparently, just going through the main market area like a normal human being saves about 2 seconds.
That's funny.
Now I can get back to my research.
So technically, the cutscene skip that I did at Blue Sage isn't over yet, because that's what I was doing up there. I need to make sure I keep the camera like kind of focused in this direction, otherwise the cutscene will activate. If like the back area or like the entity of the camera gets in range of the cutscene trigger, the cutscene will activate and I'll just lose 45 seconds like that.
Yeah, like the camera in this game. Also, shoutouts to this Death Warp. The camera in this game sort of like extends backwards like infinitely. So if the camera were to like swing past the cutscene trigger, it would like 100% start it.
How'd I take damage and they took damage at the same time?
Oh yeah, those things are funny. I don't know.
Yeah, they are funny. You'll see how funny they are later.
They act weird sometimes, yeah.
So I tend to think of this as kind of a scary level still. I'm still before the point where the level gets easy. I want to wait for the cycle. I want to make sure I keep this 2 health if I can for a damage boost that I need to do for a skip coming up. That being said, I'm still going to do that.
That's always really swag.
Alright, how's my luck, Larry Jr.? Pretty good.
One. Oh! Scary. This game is trying to kill you.
It really is.
But it's like almost but never quite.
Doing a boosted with a camera like that looks so weird.
Yeah, the backwards camera boosted.
Yeah, in case you wanted to see more boosteds, this area is the highest concentration of boosteds throughout the entire run. Grand total of like 5, just right there. I was hoping that spin would be enough time. Nice bonk. So I'm gonna have to death abuse. Gotta make sure I'm in the I'm past a particular checkpoint though before I do it. Scuffed.
Oh my goodness, that was.
Is that past the point?
That's a hard maybe. It was, yeah.
I wanted to take another damage. Yeah, we're fine. Alright, so this is Larry. I hate to call this Larry's Love Dungeon. So what I did there was I ended up ground pounding into like the puzzle raft there, which allows it to like dip down and back up a little bit, and you use the momentum of it popping back up and do a high jump at the same time to get a little bit extra height, allowing for a nice boost to get out of bounds.
Nice boost.
Also, that was some pretty nice RNG there. There's a random chance that that orb crate will be broken from some of the lurkers. This is what I mentioned before about these lurkers being kind of funny. Okay. That was a really bad camera.
Yeah, that camera kept whipping back. That was... Nice.
All right. So yeah, the funny business with the lurker. For some reason, like those lurkers in particular, they have just regular stand-up collision on top of them. No idea why. But it's very convenient for getting out of bounds there. Saves a cutscene, some movement, yada yada. You know the drill, it's fast. I actually need to take damage there, so that's actually fine. I mean, I feel like I kind of deserved that, to be honest. Kind of forgot that I was supposed to high jump if that situation happens. I forgot my health. I want to make sure I have 1 health going down this slide, because I want a death abuse at the bottom of it. So I'm just going to do that real quick here. I got the zombie glitch.
Oh. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah. Bye. There.
Oh. Wait, do you intentionally get the zombie glitch there?
No, I was supposed to die.
Oh, okay. I was so confused. I was like...
So now I have to do this normally.
Wow.
Well, I say normally, but I skipped the cutscene and the chase sequence that's supposed to be happening right here. So this is the area that I skipped up to earlier. I didn't want to go back through this area. I was supposed to do an out of bounds to get into that area, and then do stuff in a strange order and end at the cell. But since I ended up hitting the 2 Dark Eco crates in a row, I couldn't really do that. That was good movement, though.
That was pretty slick getting into that elevator.
Oh my god.
That base.
The base.
That was some good base.
Oh, it still is.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm actually going through water. A nice little ground pound right here.
Tasteful ground pound.
Very tasteful. I'll be going for a very frightening variation of a fish skip.
Oh no. No, oh my god. That was awesome.
Hey, I did that fast enough.
You got the trip.
And if you get to certain areas of the game quick enough, actually first, I'll probably explain, like, so you probably noticed throughout this game that the world's pretty, like, it's pretty seamless. There are corridors, though, all over the place. And those corridors are usually loading zones. So if you can get to, like, one of those corridors quick enough, you'll actually end up getting this tripping animation to try to, where the game just halts you from going any further. And tripping actually usually loses time. So technically I don't want to trip there. I kind of just wanted to show it off though. I figured while I had the opportunity to, I could do it there.
It's kind of funny because, like, in one hand you don't want to trip, but when you do trip, it's kind of funny. It's kind of nice because then it's like it just means you did that part really fast.
So this is Boggy Swamp. Boggy Swamp is a kind of spooky level. Not much of it's too hard, but there's a very anxiety-inducing part of the level that comes near the end. I've died from that before. I don't like that that damages you like that.
Which one?
The spike wall that didn't move damaged me.
Oh yeah.
Reminder that I have 1 health. It's taking that a lot riskier than I usually do with 1 health.
Gotta love those wooden posts.
Bonk noise, music to my ears.
Bonky swamp.
Bonky swamp. Literally a landscape-wide embodiment of a giant toilet. Oh. Hey!
Hey, nice one, frame.
So yeah, that was actually a 1 frame trick there. If you can time a spin at a specific point off of a Blue Eco launch pad, you can get a spin to happen at the same time as you go up, which allows you to get a bit less height and control your descent. So you can save a few seconds here and there getting them. A lot more useful in other categories, ones that are much shorter. I guess the usefulness is the same, but the impact is greater. trying to go for another 1 frame off of this eco pad as I finish this fighting section. Nice.
Nice.
1 frame's on point tonight. What? Welcome to Bird, also known as Flut Flut. Movement tends to be a lot less slippery with Flut Flut overall than like regular Jack movement. A lot more simple as well, and moves faster. So it's a nice little change of pace.
Flut Flut is like a really satisfying, like creature to control. IMO.
Yeah, the movement's really nice. Alright, so I want to hit this trigger here, and then I want a Death Abuse.
Howdy, friends. Enjoying my beautiful swamp? I own these here parts. Everything that doesn't sink into the mud that
Just
is.
gotta stretch a little bit before I tense myself up a bunch. I really don't like this challenge.
What's a bathtub? Anyway,
It's not that it's particularly difficult, it's just very
seems some nasty lurker varmints are growling
anxiety inducing, I guess.
they can get their grubby little paws
Very
on
stressful.
and scaring away my pet hip hog, Farley.
It's very long too.
Yeah, it's like a good 2-minute long thing. It's a shooting gallery section, which I have to deal with these moving rats getting closer and closer. There are 3 waves, and each wave is more aggressive than the last.
Good. Those rats will be back any time. Shoot all them rats. Keep them from eating at least one of them snacks.
Also, yeah, I can't let any of them get all the way up.
So is Jack the only one who can like use the eco like this?
Honestly, I don't know. I would imagine the sages can. But you know, as the last cutscene says, that he has a great ability at channeling eco. Spoiler alert. That's a spoiler.
There it is.
Also, fun fact, if you're zoomed in and have yellow eco, you can shoot with R2. That's actually like a new development in the speedrun community. People didn't know that you could shoot with R2. Or at least for most people. I think some people knew. They just never said.
Like some people must have known that.
So as you can tell, Phase 3 is terrifying.
Oh,
Alright.
Dang, good job.
You sure know how to shoot. Thanks a heap for the help.
Really don't like that challenge. How does that work? How did I hit that lurker? I was aiming and next to the boxes, and I hit the lurker that was further away. I don't understand this game. And again, most of the time I don't even think the devs understand this game. They coded this in like their own made-up coding language.
Oh yeah.
Called Gaul.
Goal.
And people couldn't decipher it for a very long time. I don't even know if it's fully deciphered still.
No, I don't think so.
Like, most of the people that even dealt with the code just don't remember what it meant anymore. Because it's been 19 years?
Something like that.
Explosion noises. Ideally there I would have just used the yellow eco from the first event, but I'm still not super good at the game, so I'm not taking the chance. Coming up here we have boulder skip. A very scuffed one.
That was a good save. Oh, shoutouts to Claw just disappearing right there.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that skips a cutscene. It's actually, I think, a lot more useful and saves more time overall in any % categories. You'll see me do it one more time though, because I still have some orbs to get back there. Both some cells and orbs. The reason I'm doing this fight now and not collecting stuff back there is one cutscene in particular. There's a cutscene from the night that's sitting over there that is actually the longest cutscene during like the actual game. It's like 3.5 minutes long or something. So doing this fight ahead of time allows you to not watch that cutscene. Also, that was the type of movement back there. Really think about it. If you want to try explaining triple jumping and maybe even quad jumping.
Oh yeah, where you can exploit the altitude you get from shooting the yellow eco, and you can do your double jump and then use the shot to kind of give you that extra little bit. Sometimes that's just enough to get you like onto certain ledges.
Yeah, and you'll see me use it once in particular later. I won't chance that.
Oh, with that yellow eco, yeah, that was sketch.
It should be good. If you're at the edge of the platform, you can just sit and wait for shots. Did you fire those all center?
I think so, yeah.
That's
a lot of them, at least.
Crazy. So now he's dead. And now we're dead. Just a quicker way to get back. That's not, though. That's bonking. So doing that fight then allows us to just talk to the knight. You get his cell instead of hearing a sob story first.
All right.
Sorry, I don't care. I want to go fast.
Don't ask me to get involved with that creature again.
Those should be the last orbs that we need to get. In Humbus 2.
Humbus 2. That's 2 legs complete. Almost.
Oh, great.
Almost 2 legs.
I knew that time record would fall. Now here's your power cell, and I can go collect my big payoff. Whoa, yeah!
Almost forgot that he gave me 2.
Here's the power cell, I promise.
Not the first time, but I usually catch it as soon as I see the big white text that says, "Hey, idiot, talk to this guy again." I'm like, all right, fam. Alright, it's time for Boulder Skip Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Alright, that one was much cleaner. Oh, hey, Claw.
Oh, so that he just stays loaded up there, like that
Yeah,
cutscene?
he stays loaded there unless you end up doing the cutscene where you collect
to get rid of
X number of cells and then talk to Kira.
I see.
So now we got the second transition area, Mountain Pass. Fun fact with this area, you can go too fast. If you go... So the goal of this area is to get to the end of this area before the lurkers do. Otherwise, a bomb will detonate and it will explode the entire path. And you just died. Simple as that. But if you go too fast, you get way too far ahead of the lurkers. It has the same effect for some reason. I don't know if it's like rubber banding or if it's like if they're X distance away or whatever. Really don't know the specifics of it. I just know if you go too fast and you're near enough to the end, you fail. So there's going to be a section near the end that I'm just going to be holding on the brakes. That will start right here. I'm pretty sure I do that for a lot longer than I need to, but I haven't really checked the leniency ever still. My long list of small things that I still need to check in this game. Relearning process is hard. I started relearning this category about a month ago, and before then, my last run was actually 3 years ago. Oh, nice boosted. I agree with that. Much better. There's gonna be a swag strat coming up here that I'm gonna try to go for. Called, or I don't know if it has like a name, but it's more of like setup list backward cell. Nope. At least the regular backward cell when first try.
Is setup list where you just go out of the...
Just go at it out of the roll jump.
Yeah, nice.
I had a run a couple days ago that I actually did get that. And then I proceeded to crash. That was fun.
Oh, you do it from under? Oh, sick.
Yeah, we gotta go full swag. So once again, a pause buffer, then get out to Death Abuse as fast as you can, skip that cutscene. That cutscene in particular is a very good one to skip. That cutscene's 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's
so,
like one of the longest in the game.
Yep.
Not the silos.
That's not the ledge. There we go.
There you go, Jack. Grab it like this, like that.
These rails are very interesting to move off of because they have pretty accurate collision. They're really expecting you to just go on the mine carts the whole way, but we don't like to do that. I got like a little bit of a recoil off of the cart there. No, we won't go for another one. Alright, so welcome to Humbus 3. What I would personally say is the scariest area of the run. Not this level. Spider Cave is hard, but I wouldn't say it's the scariest. Maybe aesthetically. So you might be able to guess one of the cells here is to kill all of these centipedes. This is the, I think the last really major area that you'll see me use Yellow Eco. There's a little bit in Citadel, but you use like every Eco in Citadel. Can you come down? Can you come down and allow me to hit you? There was a triple jump right there. Actually, I think that was a quad. Quad jumps, very similar aspect to a triple jump. You use the eco to get a little bit of an extra boost, but then you add a spin on top of that, which gives you even more height. Nice. Going down there, that water's a lot deeper than you might expect. So not having to go down there to swim for that is nice and convenient. Nice.
That was smooth.
Got the slide crawl spot. Just allows you to not take damage while you're falling. Right, swag roll jump right here.
Nice, the backwards.
It's not too bad as soon as you figure out the angle. Just gotta spam the roll. Nice death abuse right here. Brings you a little bit forward. Here's robot room. Now you might look at this room and think, wow, this looks like a mess. That's because it is.
Yeah, you would be right.
You would be right to assume that. That's actually not the movement I was intending to do there, but that works.
Huh, I didn't even realize that. That looked so, like, intentional.
I mean, I totally meant to do it.
Right.
Played ya. Fun little thing about those moving platforms, actually. You probably noticed when I ground pound on them, they bounce, which actually gives a lot more height off of a ground pound, as long as you hold X during it. I'm gonna have to take the full loop, because I missed that one. Well, I could have gone for a boosted, but I'm not going to right now. I'm very prone to failing boosteds in Hub 3. It's just kind of it's a trend. It's not gonna stop me from going for the next one though. But I got another swag boosted. Big money. So, not until, like, kind of recently, have we started doing Spider Cave before Snowy Mountain. Because Snowy Mountain has a yellow eco silo, or not silo, like a yellow eco switch that opens up yellow eco vents, which is very important for this part right here. And I'll discuss more of that after I concentrate on this real quick. Alright. So, originally that vent over there has yellow eco coming out of it, allowing for very lenient setup to be able to just do that area to break those crates. But I just realized I honestly don't know how recently. It had to have been within the last 3 years, obviously. You can use the spare eco sitting in that spot. You just reroute robot room. And boom, just use that spare eco there. For anyone wondering, this is not how I was taught how to do this room. It works. Not how I was taught how to do it, though. Alright, so there's a particularly important quad jump right here. Gonna hit this moving platform. Alright. We needed to make sure that we got this yellow eco at the end here for an important thing coming up here. That may have seemed like a random shot, but that actually like arced all the way up here and hit a crate up in like the column back there. For some reason, all of that just like lines up so perfectly that you're able to do that very easily.
Wasn't that chest left in to be like 101th or like?
Yeah, I think that was the 101st cell.
101st, right? Not 1th.
101th.
Anyways, yeah.
The 5th cell.
Hmm?
The 5th cell.
The 5th one.
Yeah, the 5th one.
5. You got all 5 cells.
Uh huh. I don't know why I haven't beaten the game yet. So welcome to Choke Mountain. A lot of times I'll go on runs, or I don't know if it's right to say a lot of times. Every time I've come here on a run, it's been not great, to say the least. So let's hope practice has paid off. This route in particular is actually pretty interesting because it's focused around flip mostly. Here's a swag strat. Get a nice boosted off of the bridge seam there. So a lot of the time, the way like vehicle sections work is that there's invisible walls that stop you from being able to get out of those vehicle areas. A lot of times there's some sophisticated ways to bypass those triggers. There is such a way in here as well, and you'll see me do it. And honestly, sophisticated, probably not the right word for this one. This one is probably one of the easier tricks in the game, to be honest. Flufflet has this interesting property with ledges that if you end up doing like the jump charge attack, you can get like a little bit of ground time off of certain walls. So you're just able to abuse that to go right over the trigger there. For these guys, you're actually supposed to usually kill all of the enemies. But particularly with this guy, that one lurker there, you can just jump on top of his device, and he'll just jump off of it for you. Little skippy here. That's not how most people do that. Some people might say that looks a little messed up. But it works, so I don't care. And now we get to exit this the old-fashioned way, through the ceiling, you know, as you do. If I can. I appear to be having issues. There we go. That was being a lot more finicky than usual. That's honestly not that bad. That was almost bad. Okay. What? What did I just get height off? Okay. We're good. Everything's fine. We're entering the fortress. Excuse me. We have a another kind of cool strat coming up here. We're going to be doing some camera manipulation to forcibly lag the game a bit, allowing us to deload that Cellground cutscene. Now I want to make sure that I get out of the way of those cell vents as quick as possible, because Flufflet's not supposed to be in this area, and Flufflet's a little big, and he likes to get stuck in orb vents if you wait too long. And that would be terrible and lose a lot of time. So we're not doing that. Thank you for coming to my tennis match. Alright. That's one of the scarier parts. It may not have looked like it, but Flufflet's not easy to control on ice. And making sure that you land specifically on those pedestals to try to hit the switches on top is not easy. Takes a lot of precision and getting used to distance with these charge attacks. coming up here, we have one last skip in Snowy. So on the way up, there was a gondola that I used to get up here. Cutscene was, you know, kind of long. Probably don't want to watch it again. So, hopefully, we're not going to. That works. Not what I wanted, but that works. Ideally, I would have landed in the cave here on Flufflet. Make some of the orb cutscenes faster. But I still got the skip, so that's what I care about here.
You think, Willard? Howdy, strangers. Passing through? Us too. Well, we gotta be moving on. Nothing I see here.
That was actually my best Snowy in a run to date.
Yeah, that was solid Snowy.
There was a couple of hiccups.
Nothing too bad though.
No, not anything too bad.
What Birdbrain here is trying to say is, we may have a few power cells laying around, and we might be willing to part with them for $90 each.
Where have I heard that before? Hey, how do you two geniuses expect to get that big gem out of here anyway?
These are
Well, smarty
the
pants,
only guys in the game that have 4
12 more years
orbs.
of digging to figure that out.
So enjoy 3 of the same cutscene.
Marty, wouldn't it take less time if you dug too?
Not this cutscene. This cutscene's too long to do 3 times. This one though.
All right already. Here's
Isn't
a power
there
cell for
like
those orbs of yours.
something if you're riding Flufflet and you speak to these guys like a certain number of times that the game crashes?
I don't know, but that wouldn't surprise me. This game is a hunk of spaghetti
All right
code.
already.
Yeah.
Here's a power cell for those orbs of yours.
Having deja vu yet?
Here's a power cell for those orbs of yours.
So one of the nice things that I could have had with Flufflet is shorter orb grab cutscenes. That's
I got it this time.
I think the orb grab cutscenes are like somewhere between 1 and 2 seconds shorter. With
Power cell.
Flufflet in particular.
Yeah, what he said. That's it. You cleaned us out.
Overall, would have been nicer.
No more power
Movement's generally faster with Flufflet as well, but I'm not gonna bum on it.
Just don't bum on it, dude.
Honestly, it's better that that happened that way because otherwise I would have risked crashing. So,
Yeah, it can get kind of sketch with the.
yeah, as soon as you bring Flufflet out here, it starts to get a little bit spooky.
Yeah, things start to break.
Seek the pure light, for within its flame the answers reside. You can gain my power cells by bringing 120 precursor orbs for each. You have obtained another power cell. For your effort, a power cell is
We actually only have 2 areas left. 1 transition area and 1 actual area and then the final boss, so not too much left.
Oh yeah, just got what, Lavitude Citadel?
Yep. You mean Levitu? I tried.
That was a slick recovery.
Yeah, it worked fine. I wanted the swag points though. No swag points for me.
should be able to supply the heat shield with enough power to stand up to this lava. But the shield still has a limit. It will now withstand temperatures up to 800 degrees, but no more. So keep an eye on your gauge. I don't want to think about what those temperatures would do to your zoomer if the shield gives out.
Yeah, the heat.
What? The zoomer? Hey, what about us? Don't you think we could look for a safer route?
Doesn't even smell like bread.
Look,
No,
I've
it doesn't.
released more cooling balloons into the tube.
It smells like
so
something.
You can use them to keep the temperature down.
Maybe you need to put it in the toaster.
Synthetic.
In the Yellow Sage's
Yeah.
lab. We're counting on you.
Probably won't melt.
We gotta warm it up a little bit.
Yeah. Got a microwave in the room. A little boost there is actually like low-key important. I want to try to make sure that I mitigate my my heat as much as I can. 'Cause ideally, I want to go through this area without having death abuse after grabbing all of the orbs. That should be fine. Alright, we're safe. That was not a good set of oranges there. On a couple of just like switches between different sections of the track. Just a lot of overall trying to make sure I go faster. If I didn't do the switch there, I would have just been going over. It's just a massive loop essentially. Fun for those casual people that like going in circles, but I like to go in circles more quickly. I don't like this.
Yeah, it was slowly getting worse and worse.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, you're good.
It's the one nice thing about the zoomer. You can use jumps to end up getting rid of some of the temperature. I got a pause buffer here. That's not a pause buffer. I think that cutscene's like 30, 40 seconds. Here's the really important one though.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger skips in the game.
You want to explain a bit about it actually?
There's a cutscene trigger right here that he's gonna walk into, and as the pause buffer unpauses and the cutscene starts, he's already dying. So the dying kind of consumes the cutscene trigger and then doesn't play it, and just respawns you to the top as if it's already played the cutscene.
And something in particular, the respawning at the top is only something on the black label version of this game. If you have a red label version, it just doesn't work.
And it's not every version of Black Label either. There's like a couple versions that don't.
It's not every version of red label either. It's weird.
I might have that wrong though. Maybe what you said was where.
No, it's both ways. Also, I've been doing pause buffers here on these.
Yeah, that's just
these
safer.
cells. It's much safer because if I sat and let those cutscenes, or like let the orb cutscene play out and the actual cutscene after, the cutscene after doesn't happen because I did Citadel skip. Every one of those orbs, if I collect it or every one of those cells, if I collect it regularly, will crash my game.
Really?
Every one of them. But the timing's pretty lenient, so I shouldn't need to worry about it.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
That is a note of fear. Right at the end of the run, you can pretty easily crash your game.
Fitting.
That's a terrible pizza cycle. Yeah, a decent bit of the Jack runners like to call those pizzas. Nice ledge grab. That's one of the only times I've wanted one. That's actually a pretty nice cycle. Heck yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
I want to make sure I had Buiko for these in particular. Just a lot nicer to grab those orbs, and you can make a nice return trip there. Very spooky looking roll jump there, but honestly that one's not that bad. Nice. Falling platforms went all right. Now we got the ankle biter room, and the last sage leg of Citadel. So one thing I never mentioned about Red Eco is it also increases your attack range. Can you come over here?
Wow, that was...
It's being a little rude.
Yeah,
oh, I would have had to wait anyway. It's not bad. Alright, we're safe. Didn't crash the game. Okay. It was a little faster. I could have boosted over to it, but I really don't want to chance it. I'm really bad at getting boosted off this platform. I didn't want to try for that either.
It looks so tempting.
It's tempting, but it will come to bite you.
Yeah, it's one of those things you can't rush. You can't rush it.
Not at my constant skill, or not at my current skill level, at least. And that's Citadel.
Yep.
And we just got final boss.
Now we need to summon the final Humbus.
Yep. This is the final ritual. We have now gotten the 3 legs of Humbus. This is where we have a pool party with a giant robot to
He's filling the pool
create
right now.
the Humbus Bumbus. Yes.
He's getting it already. Look at that.
Sadly, the last ingredient is the whole robot.
Yeah. This is actually Robo Soup that we're making.
Yep. Spun too early.
Oh yeah, the 1 frames.
Yep. I'm gonna try to be going for 1 frames on all of these.
1 frames save a few seconds here because they have a shorter arc. That means the amount of time you have to spend in the air before you can go to the next stage.
I think the first 2 launches, they both save about 2, and then the last one saves about 6 seconds.
Really?
And the last one saves a lot more. Dude, that yellow eco was going crazy on tracking.
Yeah. Oh, that one too. That was funny. Do you know about... Never mind.
Too early again. Gonna be going for a damage abuse on this phase. Nope. No problem. I at least got to show off 2 of them.
Oh, did you get... Never mind.
Did I what?
I was gonna ask if you got quick shot, but you didn't get quick shot.
So this is the last cutscene right here. So we're coming up on time pretty soon. Probably about like a minute at most.
They must not be allowed to get it. White Eagle. That could be the stuff to chain me back. Or might stop that robot. Stay fuzzy. Save the world.
Choices.
Okay, fine. We'll save the world. But do it quickly before I change my mind.
Alright, time very soon.
Godspawn.
No. Time.
Nice. 147. That's really good.
So my PB before this was a 149.19. So that's a PB.
Nice.
Once again, thank you, Midwinter Speed Sprinter, for allowing me onto this event. Shout outs to Lit Gang. And stay tuned for more runs, guys.
Well, it looks like I may have been too hard on you boys.